get this party started here. Reconvening at 5 o'clock. Okay, everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation by Dr. Greenberg. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you can remain standing, I'm going to read a statement. I want to pass on some bad news. A few weeks ago, on March 29th, Luis Alonso Lozano, a 15-year-old 8th grader from Pennicott, was struck by a car and was killed. And so we would like to have a moment of silence in his memory. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Greenberg. Okay, we will now take a recess to go to the CMI meeting. So we are recessing this meeting at 5:01. Okay, the meeting is up if you guys want to join. Okay, this meeting is called to order at 5:02. Is everybody in? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, the invitation to address the Board of Trustees on closed session items for CMI only. No takers. Adjourn to closed session necessary?
No, sir.
Thank you. Okay, revision, adoption, ordering of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Sir.
Any questions, comments? No? Please vote. Thank you. Okay, student representative to the Board of Trustees. Trustee Cooley is not here, so I will introduce CMI Student Representative Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Omar Guerra.
Good morning, Mr. Superintendent, Dr. Greenberg. Good morning, Cabinet. Good morning, President Nelson, board members, and guests. As always, thank you for allowing me to stay here and to represent my school, CMI. And as many of you may recall from the last board meeting, I did speak about a speech competition that was going to happen that weekend. I did compete in it. There was around 30 competitors, even some from San Diego, because it was a Navy JROTC competition, and I was invited to go to it. Although I didn't get in the top six of the speakers, I did learn a lot about myself and the other competitors that for their age and for them to be able to speak so clearly and to develop such a great speech that it felt like you were part of their story they were telling, that it allowed me to be re-motivated to want to pursue stronger communication skills, because my ultimate passion in life is to become a pastor, and we know that pastors need great communication skills. And then around similar to the same time frame, CMI hosted the NCOA, which is our Non-Commissioned Officer Academy. And this is where cadets from ranks from recruits to corporal go into this 3-day event to see if they could become master sergeants or lower. And what's important about this is that it becomes a strict environment with military core values that the cadets relearn the things that they should have learned a while ago, and they really take into effect the respect of NCOs at our schools, so that at the end, when they do get promoted, they don't wear the rank just as another accessory to their uniform, but also know that it has high respect and expectations for them. Now, following that weekend, CMI competed in what is known as the CACC state IMAs and drill competition, and this is where it's a competition with all the other units in the state of California that are part of the California Cadet Corps. And as we may recall that how I said from our brigade, Cadet Sergeant Major Jacob Abriz, he won first place of overall state. Well, unfortunately, he got second place. That is still high, but he didn't get the saber that I spoke about before. And they went to Los Alamitos Air Base, and it was a really big event. It happened all day from 8 to 4 p.m., and there was over 1,000 cadets there. And last week, we hosted the promotion board a promotion test, and this is another step requirement at CMI, because for JROTC, in order for the cadets to get an A, they need to be promoted at least one time a semester. And for the promotion boards, it's from staff sergeants and above, and this allows them to go higher in rank and to get higher positions in staffs as like the company commanders, battalion commanders, first sergeants, and everything, which allows them to become better leaders at CMI and develop into greater citizens. And these are the ranks at our schools. The left ones are the NCOs, and the ones on the right are our officer ranks. And this weekend, we'll finally be hosting the CMI Bivouac, the one we've been trying to get last semester. But fortunately, we were able to have it. We're hosting it at Camp San Luis Obispo. So it'll be quite a drive there. There's going to be around 200 cadets or 160 that'll be participating. And they'll be participating in something that's called an ES-2000. And what it is the picture towards the left. It's a simulator that the Army uses to train their soldiers. And it's the rifles that are connected to an air compressor. So when they shoot in the simulation, they feel the recoil of an actual rifle. So it's pretty interesting. I've done 2 of those. And the picture on the right is an example of the leadership reaction course they'll be doing. So we want our cadets to have fun there, but also develop teamwork skills and leadership skills. And this will conclude my presentation for today. Thank you for your time, and have a good evening.
Thank you. CMITA President Angel Love Behrens. Not here today? Okay. Principals update, Mr. Rhodes.
Mr. Rhodes is not here. All of our principals are at a dinner in Riverside for the Academic All-Stars, so pinch hitting is Assistant Principal Mr. Elston Pine.
I like that term, pinch hitting. Last time I was pinch hitting, I forgot to mention my wife's name, and I'm still living that one down. So, yeah. But thank you for allowing us. Good evening, Dr. Greenberg and Cabinet members, President Nelson, and Board of Directors. We are excited to be able to present to you today with some of the happenings at CMI, the events and activities. So I'll be very brief, not to piggyback on what Mr. Rose would ordinarily do up here. I'll be very brief about getting this. So what's taking place this particular month, and also for the last few weeks, we were encouraged by several things, actually. We're now in the second meeting about our facilities assessment discussion at CMI, and we're encouraged by the potential of what could actually take place at CMI to make that a more desirable location for kids to be educated at. We're also working around the clock at completing our master schedule, which is, for those of you who can identify with that, know the headache that's involved there. And also the LCAP-related matters. We're around the clock really trying to resolve those as well. We had a successful open house. As a new thing at CMI, we actually fed parents hamburgers and hot dogs. And I tell you, you'd be surprised to know how many people come out for hamburgers and hot dogs for an open house when it's connected like that. So we're encouraged by the numbers. Next year, we'll try to make it a little bit less of a trial as far as hot dogs and hamburgers, but we'll have something a little quicker to actually pass out. We actually had a very successful APAC meeting where they introduced for the first time the possibility of a black student union at CMI, which is really an encouraging thing. We had record numbers of parents and students who attended that session last night, which was really neat. Powder Puff game was epic. Our seniors won this year, and to make matters even that much better for us as teachers, we beat the 9th and 10th graders in a football game. Now, I don't want to mention secretly that it was girls and girls only that we beat, but as the quarterback for the teachers and the staff, I'll take credit for it. They certainly did beat them. we are really continuing to be encouraged by the acceptance letters of our students for colleges, and we're getting that from day to day. And just as a success note for anyone who has really pushed kids to file for their FAFSA, we had a student that is a part of the DREAM Act and actually was awarded $50,000 for attending university next year. So that really is a note for us that encourages us on a daily basis why it's important for us to make sure these kids fill out the FAFSA, but at the same time, that humble schools like CMI and Paris Union School District in general can have great things that come out of that. So we're really encouraged by that. I want to thank you guys for giving me that chance to update you. Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pine. Okay. Action item discipline reports. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Okay. Please vote. Thank you. Okay, the invitation to address the Board of Trustees for the CMI meeting. Do we have any takers? None? Consent calendar. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Any questions? Nope. Please vote. Thank you. Okay, action item curriculum, CMI 2015-16 Safe Schools Plan Annual Update. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Any questions? No? Please vote. Thank you. Revised course language 5, not an A to G course. Do we have a motion? I'm sorry, it's an information item this time. It's not an action item. I'm sorry. First time, yeah. That's true. We don't see very many at all. All right. Closed session if necessary.
Not necessary, sir.
Thank you. Other items by the superintendent?
Yes, I have one item, and I know Mr. Pine and our wonderful student, Omar, didn't want to brag too much, but they just went through annual general inspection. They call it AGI. And this is from Mr. Rhodes, dated March 22nd. As most of you are aware, we had our AGI today. This is a high-stakes event, and members come in from San Luis Obispo and Sacramento to fully and critically evaluate our program. The mass majority of units have a unit strength of 50 to 150 cadets, with a few about 200. In addition, those smaller units have essentially the same command staff as our unit, despite the fact that we have 1,038 cadets. The inspection team was very impressed with our unit, and in the end, we received the highest distinction possible, superior, with an average score of 91.82%. Although I was pleased with the superior distinction, we have room for improvement. We will immediately begin addressing the areas for growth and wait with great anticipation for our next inspection visit. So I just thought I'd bring the public up to date and you up to date that we got a heck of a school going on over there at CMI. Thank you, Mr. Pine.
Thank you. Other items by the Board of Trustees? Ms. Twyman? Mr. Agundez? None for me this month. Thank you. Motion for adjournment?
So moved. Second.
Okay, please vote. Okay, this meeting is ended at 5:14.